All right, that makes sense. Now, next up, we have another English romantics favorite, Jack Grealish. Now, we know that Villa have already signed Emiliano Buendia, and they're tailing around Premier Smith Rowe as well. Now, it feels a little bit that they may be making way for the imminent departure of Jack Grealish. How much sense would this deal make Grealish to Manchester City? What would be considered a decent bid from Villa's perspective, and whether they'd be willing to even negotiate something for a player like Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a similar situation to Harry Kane and Spurs in that Harry Kane is worth more to Tottenham than he is to Manchester City because City have got so many great players, but Spurs' team is built around Harry Kane. The same can be said about Aston Villa. Jack Grealish is probably worth more to Villa than he is to City because of the same reason. That said, he is a player that Pep admires a lot. He's spoken about him in press conferences in the past, which is quite unusual for Pep. He doesn't really like to talk about other clubs' players, but he has spoken about Jack in the past. And Grealish is at the stage of his career where he really needs to be playing Champions League football every week. And City obviously would offer him that. In terms of whether a deal can be done, yeah, and I think there's a real possibility that one may get completed. Aston Villa are going to fight very, very hard to keep Jack Grealish. He's their captain. He's come through their academy. He's their star man. So it's natural that they want to keep him. And there's talk, even though he signed a new contract last summer, there's talk that they may offer him a new contract again this summer. Ultimately, it will be about the bid that City can put on the table. We're told that they are willing to pay around £100 million for Jack Grealish, and it would be very, very difficult for Aston Villa to turn down that kind of money, given what they could do with that in the transfer market. So, it has been a bit of a slow burner. Obviously, Jack has been away with England at the Euros and hasn't really been able to kind of be involved in those kind of discussions. But now he's away on holiday. I would expect that to kind of speed up a little bit and for City to get a definite answer one way or the other sooner rather than later.
Rob, do you think City have any alternatives in case the Grealish thing doesn't come through? You think they'd look at anyone else, or it's kind of like the same with the Kane situation? It's Grealish or it's no one, and they're happy to wait.
I think that it's a similar situation, and also it's not the Grealish thing is Pep wanting to add a great player to an already great forward line. It's not like there's a hole in the squad where he thinks I have to fill that with someone. Speaking right now, they've still got Bernardo Silva, they've got Sterling, they've got Foden, they've got Mahrez, Ferran Torres. You're talking about a wealth of talent still at the club. So it's not like they're going to be short-handed if they can't get Grealish. I think if they can't get him, I think what you'd find is that some of the players who are linked with moves away, the likes of Sterling, Bernardo Silva, they would stay. Pep isn't going to leave himself with a thin squad to challenge for the Premier League title and go again in the Champions League. So if Grealish arrived, I would expect at least one of those to leave. There's a lot of interest in Bernardo Silva from Spain. There's also been interest in Sterling as well from other clubs. So I'd expect someone to leave to make room for Grealish. But if Grealish doesn't arrive, I would expect them to keep most of those stars and for City to go into the new season with pretty much the same squad that did so well last year.